Michael Collins, thanks a million for joining us today.
Right,
Michael,
Sean, pleasure to be here.
You might tell us, when did you start fishing?
When? It's a long, long time ago. When I was 10 years of age, Sean, I started fishing. We call it serious fishing. I was 10 years of age, and I caught my first salmon on that year. I was out with my father in the River Flesk. That would be the Brown Flesk, right where Farnfore Airport is now. And I caught my first salmon there at the age of 10. And I'm catching them since.
And what size of a fish was he?
He was about 8 pounds at that time, yeah.
And is it because your father was into fishing that you got into it, or how did the interest in fishing come about?
Because my father was interested in it, and my brother as well, my older brother, he was very interested in fishing as well. So we were actually reared with fishing. So that's how we became interested in it.
And what kind of equipment were you using back then to catch fish?
Well, in comparison with now, primitive. Very primitive. I will tell you, the first fishing rod I had, the first, we'll say, good fishing rod I had was an 8-foot split cane rod. And split cane is a kind of cane rod, but it's a reasonably strong rod, but that was a trout rod. And we would have a spinning reel, and we usually fish around 8-pound line. So that was our gear at the time. And we would fish with minnows, mostly lane minnows at that time, and we'd fish with worms. But that was good gear at that time, because we were fishing over a lot of fish. And that made fishing a little bit easier than it is now.
And I believe in talking to you, you caught a very good fish very soon after that.
I did. I caught when I was 11, the year after that, I caught a salmon 20 pounds. So I did. And I haven't beaten that record since, which is a long time to be stuck with that record. And well, that was a day never to be forgotten. The fish was hooked at about 12:30, and he was landed around 4 o'clock. So it went on the day. Right. The line was only 8-pound line, small little 1.25 inch minnow, and the little split cane rod. But he was eventually got. So you could be talking about that forever.
And where was that?
In Carra Lake, which is down near Glimbe.
Where are your favourite places to go fishing?
Favourite places would be, well, Carra Lake, the River Main, the River Lown, and the River Feel, and all the West Kerry rivers. So I have a lot of favourites.
A lot of favourites?
A lot of favourites.
And which is your favourite type of fishing?
Or salmon fishing. Salmon fishing.
And is it with a fly or?
Fly, minnow, and not with worms, no more now. Digging worms is hard work. So I fish fly and minnow mostly.
What was your best day on the river?
Well, I've hooked 8 in a day in the River Feel a couple of times, and in the Lown around 6 in a day a few times. But that would be a good many years ago. So it would be like now. When I say I'd hook 8 in a day, that doesn't mean I landed 8. And in fact, the last 2 times I hooked 8 in a day, I left every fish I landed go. And knowledge of where you're fishing is the most important thing in a river, because when you know a river well, you know in every pool where the fish generally lie. You know all the lies. So if you know the lies in a river, that is where you concentrate. A stranger coming into a river has not the same opportunity as you have, for the plain and simple reason you know the river. He's a stranger to it, and he's like a shot in the dark. Now, he will catch fish if he's a good angler, because he'll be able to read the river. So he will. But the odds are still in your favour, because you know the lies in the river.
You mentioned you had a split cane rod to start with.
Yes.
What has changed down the years?
Oh,
And is it for the better?
was definitely for the better. Like we started with split cane rods, and then we went. There were solid fiberglass rods, and then we went to carbon fiber rods, and now we're at graphite rods. So we are, but like the graphite rod, like has unbelievable strength. The present rod, like you cannot compare it with a rod of 30 years ago, because the present rod you can throw a fly double the distance, so you can. And also the lines have advanced so far as well, that the modern gear, the gear in the last 15, say from go back 15 years to the present day, even in that 15 years the gear has changed an awful lot. Like even like not so expensive rods, say you could buy a rod now even say for 150, 200 euro, would be a very, very good rod nowadays. Whereas before, years ago, you'd be talking maybe buying top of the range, maybe could buy 500 or 600 pounds, and the modern rod now would actually be a way better rod, a better performance rod, like lighter, better action, or overall a better rod.
You're one of the lucky fishermen whose wife, Kathleen, also fishes. Does that help in getting you out in the river more?
That's true, yeah. She fishes. My wife's a good angler. She is, like, you know. Well, maybe she was well trained. Like, maybe she was well trained by me. But anyway, well, there is a saying in fishing, and the saying is, "Are all fishermen liars, or do all liars fish?" So that is, you've heard that, Sean. Yeah. But also, did you know that actually when a fish is killed, they increase in weight? Did you know that?
They do expand.
They do expand. And to verify that, now, the usual is about 2 pounds they gain in weight. Like, but I was out fishing a couple of years ago, and walking down the river anyway, and I met a person. Oh, there was a person on the far side of the river, and I just shouted across the river, and he goes, "No," he said, but he said, "There was a good fish got here yesterday evening," he said, 20 pounds. So he did. So we were talking anyway, and after a while anyway, I said, "Good luck," and I carried on my journey. And I didn't go too far down the river again, because there was a lot of anglers on the river, and I met another angler, and he said, we were talking, and he said, "There was a good fish got up there yesterday, 20 pounds. And like, I wasn't believing your man, but this time then, I said, "Yes, I believe, Christ, there must be some bit of truth in this, like, you know." So we talked for a while and carried on my journey and went down, further down the river, and I met another person, and we were chatting away, and this person, I had met him before, like, and he goes, "No," he said, but he said, I got a good fish yesterday," he said, "above at the corner," he said, and I said, "What weight was it?" 13 pounds, he said. So that fish actually gained 7 pounds.
And have you increased any yourself?
Oh, no. No. But every angler does it. No angler will tell you the truth. If he says he caught a fish 10 pounds, he caught a fish 8 pounds. And you've probably done it yourself, Sean.
I did not. Definitely not.